we have more than 1 million people.
Million people
Yes, in visiting this National Science and Technology Fair. So we're going to have a lot of innovation work that on display. Guess what? We'll have a 4D simulation on climate change. It's not only the Ministry of Science and Technology, but also 9 other ministries.
Sadika, welcome to Thailand. Today I'm Kusma Yothason as your host. We're still being with the science and technology, and when we talk about science and technology and innovation, or STI, the vital for us is sustained our civilization. End products are apparent in our daily life and all levels of interaction. It is not rocket science. Scientific knowledge has been integral to our lives and is much closer to us than ever. So the goal of the current national STI master plan is to unify the commitments among public agencies and to strengthen the collaboration with and among the private sector, academics, and research institutes. Central to this ambitious endeavor are stakeholders at grassroots community level up to international cooperation. Our guest today is still with Dr. Pichet Durongkaveroj, the Science and Technology Minister, who will share with us the focus and objectives of the National Science and Technology Fair 2015 and its modest yet significant contribution to the national development. Please welcome to His Excellency Dr. Pichet Durongkaveroj, Science and Technology Minister. Sawadee. Welcome to Thailand today, sir.
Thank you.
But this particular day is all about the objective and the goals of the year of the National Science and Technology. We have every year? Is it a yearly program?
Yes. It's an annual event.
Yes.
And the reason is because we need to do continuing work in creating science awareness for the society. And you cannot just do it randomly. So every year we have a grand opening and invite not only children, but also the parents, the teachers, as well as the public at large to come visit and see the progress of science and technology. And this year we have a lot more because we add innovation into the picture also. And for the past 4 or 5 years, we have more than 1 million people. Yes, in visiting this National Science and Technology Fair. And in particular, this year, 2015, it's bigger than usual for a few reasons.
Can I reveal for the reason?
Oh, certainly. I just want to create curiosity first.
You got it.
Because this is a success that we are looking for.
Yes, sir.
Curiosity as well as ability to work out in their mind scientific approach and scientific thinking without having to know the answer or the solution in the beginning. Because you know why?
Yes.
If they know the answer too early, it kills their curiosity. Right?
Okay.
So the process is much more important than the solution itself. Now this year is very important because apart from creating awareness through this national fair, we are also celebrating at least 2 major events. The first has been announced already by the United Nations, announcing that this year is an international year of soil. And soil is very important to human being. Without soil, where's the earth that we are going to live in? And more importantly, the United Nations has recognized the contribution, the great contribution of His Majesty the King of Thailand, and asked if United Nations can proclaim not only this year, but
forever. Throughout, yes.
The 5th of December, which happened to be His Majesty the King's birthday.
Birthday, yes.
To be the International Soil Day.
Yeah.
So we, as citizens, are very proud of that fact. And very grateful to the recognition of the United Nations of His Majesty the King's work throughout many decades. Yes. Secondly, through UNESCO, UNESCO this year has announced that 2015 is the year of light.
2015.
Yes, this year,
really?
Year of light. And again, light is important to our lives, to human beings. Yes. So to celebrate the year of light is something that we will also include in the National Science and Technology Fair this year also. So this is two major events that make this year bigger.
The lighting, what? The lighting means how to preserve? How to not to use, spend
all aspects of
all
light.
Kind of
all aspects of light.
The soil and the light.
Yes,
to be
light for living, life as resource, light as a scientific instrument to make better health or make medical device and so on. And you see a lot of applications.
I've been to some of the foreign country technology fair, but how about us? How much our different or similar of these events?
Well, it's both. Partly similar because it's the same strategy in every country to try to lure the kids to enjoy and to make sure that they will enjoy. Is going to be those exhibitions that they can touch. They can play with, rather than just watch or scratch to learn. So this is something that I specifically request the organizer, which in this case is the National Science Museum under the Ministry of Science and Technology, and they have been doing this for so many years now. The differences are manifold, partly because, as we have mentioned earlier, innovation is now key to national development. So we're going to have a lot of innovation work that on display, and for them to get involved and participate. Even light and soil is something that they can discover, and we actually, it may be more proper, instead of calling it Science and Technology Fair, it's something about discovery. And discovery is more meaningful in this case, and we try to design the fair in order for them to discover more. Such as, if you talk about soil, we're not talking about soil in the northeast, soil in the south, but we also talk about what's in the soil. So it's abundant. You can talk about worm, you can talk about insects, you can talk about
the minerals,
nutritional objects, and so on. So it's very, very diverse in that case. We also would like to celebrate the royal activities. As we all know, in the past, under the leadership of King Rama IV, we have modernized quite a bit. In those days, even though the traveling is still very difficult, the information is rarely flowed, but through the dedication of His Majesty King Rama IV, we start to have science in the picture, notably his knowledge in predicting solar eclipse. Yes.
Thought of that?
In the southern part of Thailand, at the district of Wagor, Prachuap Khiri Khan province, to the level of detail that observing at that site, it's identical to the prediction. So that's why Thailand named King Rama IV the father of science of Thailand. At the same time, through the contributions and work of His Majesty the King Bhumibol Adulyadej, we have honored our King to be father of technology as well as father of innovation. So in this Science and Technology Fair, we would also honor our forefathers as well as our King about the achievements and activities that they have contributed to the development of Thailand.
I had an opportunity to glance at the fair website. So there are lots of very interesting information. So what are the outstanding? What are the outstanding?
Well,
the two or any other?
Well,
we need to go to details because so that people can.
Yes.
You know.
Let me spend a little time on this
Yes,
because
sir.
I think it's
No
important.
Yes, sir.
Apart from the Royal Pavilion to highlight the achievements of His Majesty the King, we also have many interesting pavilions for the audience. For example, we have the Biodiversity Pavilion.
Diversity Pavilion, yes.
You know, we would show the origin of the Earth. We would have the phenomenon called Big Bang to learn from. We have a story about the human birth, right?
Birth of the human beings. How did
yes, as well as the beginning of the biodiversity, which, as we know, Thailand is very rich in biodiversity and is upon us to make sure that we make use of this richness, not only in environment but also in economy as well. We also have some other great highlights. For example, we would show for the first time the indigenous grasshopper found in Thailand by the National Science Museum. Here we call it Mae Chou Pre grasshopper. It's a Thai name.
Is the one that they grilled, they fry and eat?
Not quite.
Not
This is a rare species.
The rare species.
We also have another honorable one,
Yes.
Sirinthorn ant. And this
I never
has,
heard of.
Yes,
I never heard of.
Yes, and this is something that we need to celebrate. The fact that Her Royal
Can
Highness.
you come back a little bit on this the Sirinthorn?
Well,
it's a different color, different shape.
Well, it's
or what?
better for the
Living.
audience to
It's a living.
to
It's
go
a
and
living.
yes.
That is good.
And but it's rare.
It's rare.
And it's
Okay.
found
So don't miss it.
in honor of Her Royal Highness.
Okay.
And so this is interesting and very exciting. And you know, next month we are going to have a big event in Paris on climate change. So we want to provide information and knowledge to the audience in this fair also about climate change. So we have a big pavilion on this, and guess what? We'll have a 4D simulation on climate change. We will take you into a ship through simulator, right? And then you will experience the storm.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, really?
and it's 4D to the fact that it's not only physical. Okay, so details I should not say.
I should not say, yeah.
Okay, we will also have on a lighter note a lot of toys, and it's not only Thai toys. We also have contribution from our ASEAN member countries, some of them, to send their indigenous toys to in this fair also. So the children will also be able to learn about the ASEAN, because in a month or two there'll be ASEAN community, as you know. So this is going to be fun. And inclusive of that, you know, Thailand has a lot of elephants. Same as our neighboring countries. So we will celebrate our elephants with the elephant pavilion. We will have elephants that have been significant to the Thai history in the past. As you know, in wartime, in ancient days, we use elephants. We also have elephants with the work. You know, elephants is labor. You know, even today, elephants have been used to help some society to monitor the fire, forest fire, for example. So elephants and way of life, in short. Last but not least, we also have a number of activities that traditional science museums will offer to the kids. You know, may it be information technology, may it be natural resources, may it be fun games, dinosaur, you know, something that would capture their imagination. So these are just some of the highlights. There are much more that we'll be exhibiting.
Very interesting. So in view of the new national technology and innovation, it's a kind of it's a roadmap kicking off from this to the following year. So how is this event going to be fit with this time?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, when you talk about moving the national science and technology or innovation development, we have to recognize that it's not only developing the science and technology alone.
Yes.
More importantly, we must talk about the role of science, technology, and innovation for development, for economic development, for social development, for environmental development, and so on. So, in part, we are talking about the whole process of driving this. May it be the agriculture sector, the industrial sector, or the service sector. I'll give you one example.
Okay.
Lately, the Ministry of Science and Technology has proposed to the Cabinet one of the major cluster, super cluster for Thailand to embark and grow. And we propose the so-called Food Innopolis. We are establishing an area-based community of researchers, of laboratories, of even sensory labs. You know, sensory labs meaning, you know, to taste or to smell according to the preference of the European, of the North Americans, of Japan, and so on, into one big area near Bangkok. And this is some sort of a Eastern Seaboard in food, in a way. But we are not going to focus on manufacturing. We will focus on innovation.
Yes.
We will focus on research. We will focus on development. There may be some pilot plants in there. A lot of business sectors in food companies, both international and domestic, will be here together and surrounded by universities, surrounded by national centers in biotechnology, in so and so.
Yes.
Right? So this example would highlight the fact that Thailand is moving ahead. But if you want to do it well, in a stable way, you need also to create awareness, provide information, you know, and get students to understand and move into science and technology more. And that's why the importance of the National Science and Technology Fair is something that we cannot stop at any moment, but do it continuously.
It is the kind of dealing with the agro-industry economy that we are dealing with to show off over there also. Can we looking forward for this such a solid manufacturing sector?
Well, agriculture is vital to Thailand because it's our livelihood.
Of course.
A third of our population is still in the agro business, in the farm, and so on. We are still major growers and top exporter of rice, tapioca, and rubber. And sugarcane. However, today we need to look more into the processing part, into the transforming these agricultural products into industrial products. So we are now at the crossroad, bringing agriculture into industry and industry into the market. Right? If we can do more, we are confident that we will increase the yields as well as the value added for the Thai economy. You know, for example, to sell the raw rubber, compare with selling products from rubber, such as automobile tires or rubber gloves and so on. The value is 6 times higher.
Higher than the raw one?
Yes. So you see, we need to change, and especially this day we have to deal too much with the fluctuations of the world price of agriculture commodities, and that's one more reason why we need to go into more processing.
Let me come back a little bit on this before we end our program. The visitors is about the fair. The visitors can expect to be treated to some interesting activity at the fair. So what are they?
Well,
and then you already mentioned
those things. First of all, it's free of charge.
Free of charge, yes. Why don't you use our few minutes here to invite the people to attend it?
Please. Well, given the fact that it's a national event, and it's not only the Ministry of Science and Technology, but also 9 other ministries come together. We also have 17 universities, as well as 8 other countries that are joining us. So may I invite the public to come, and the duration is from the 14th to the 25th of November at Mueang Thong Thani. Very easy access and free of charge, of course. And there'll be a lot of interesting toys, a lot of interesting exhibits for the children to play with, and it's also good for the parents, for the teachers to bring their children and students. And if they would like to come in groups, that would also very convenient. Please contact us. May I say the phone number?
Please do.
If they come in groups and would like us to facilitate, please call the National Science Museum at 02 577 9960. Let me say it again. 02 577 9960, or go into our website worldwideweb.nsm, National Science Museum, nsm.or.th, or go into our Facebook. You want any tools? We have all the tools.
I just got for that. Yes. So let me add up or ask about for the audience that when they go there, the children like to explore, like to touch, like to see. Is it not to see the posters? They can very well.
There are some posters, but we insist on the fact that the materials or the exhibits must be touchable, and must be something that the kids can play with. Certainly with safety in mind, but it's something that today they need to get out of the classroom and transform the textbook into reality and to be touchable. And we even want them to be creative and have a visual effect into the future at the frontier technology, maybe through the 4-dimensional simulator or the 3-dimension or 4-dimension movie even. It's movie with some 4D, smell.
The 4D that you said about. But it will be a huge crowd. Is there sufficient accommodation for that?
Oh, because Mueang Thong Thani is a big place, lots of parking, and we extend the duration long enough for everyone to be able to participate. 14th to 25th of November this year.
Okay, so don't forget to be there. So Thailand Today would like to thank our Science and Technology Minister, Dr. Pichet Durongkaveroj, for joining us today to recap the National Science and Technology Fair 2015 will be on at Challenger Hall, Impact, Mueang Thong Thani from November the 14th to 25th. Admission is?
Free.
So don't forget to join it, and it's such an important and good opportunity to be there. It's time for us to say goodbye now. I'm Kusuma Yothasmut as your host, and hope to see you again tomorrow. So we'll say goodbye to the audience then. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.